It is pretty late, but I felt the need to come on here and really just talk to y'all for real, or not even really talk to y'all, but just get this off of my chest. Um, so this is just a for the record. Catch my shorts if you caught them, but something I have observed with my life is that certain people, when they meet me, they expect something totally different. Some people, when they meet me, they expect something totally different, and once they fully get to see who I am, for real, they're taken aback. Something else I've noticed is that certain people, they try to put themselves in competition with me, put themselves in competition with me when honestly, despite my, how I come off or how I do what I do, I'm not competitive. I mean, excuse me, because I am very competitive. But I'm not jealous. Like I'm not like I can stand beside another boss. I can stand beside a person who has their own world going on. And I feel like when people grow up, not even I know when people grow up in environments where they feel like they've had to fight to be seen, or heard, and they meet somebody like me, and they feel like my confidence is just, too much, or it's not deserved. And it's like I've went through a lot of periods in my life where I wasn't seen, I wasn't heard, I wasn't valued. If I'm being honest with you, that's not the point. Neither here or there. The point is that to some people I make it look easy. To some people I make things that average people would break or crumble. I make it look easy, but it's not, and you want to know what's crazy is that I don't have to give an explanation about how I make it look easy. This is my life. You're watching me. You're intimidated by me. You know, and this is to the people who are outside of the den, the people who are outside of the den, not the people who are in the den. Because see, we're still in my I mean me, but we're doing this thing. My supporters, I love y'all. So we're doing this thing, and we're still in the transition of, do 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 do. So like, yeah, I still come in contact with certain people. I still, do certain, have certain experiences and stuff like that with certain people. However, I think it's just very important that I just speak on them instead of letting them sit. Because I feel like, one thing that really pisses me off, and of course, every person didn't know me when I was big. Every person didn't know me when I was bigger, or, or I feel like more undesirable. However, it's like people want me to care. When people say stuff like back then, I was hot, they didn't want me now. Now I'm hot. Back then, I wasn't. Whatever the hell the saying is, I don't know, and I don't care because that ain't the point. The point of the matter is that I'm going through that. People feel like now because I'm changing or because I'm morphing. It's two different. It's two different things. You got people from the past who feel like because I'm changing, because I'm growing, because I'm just changing and shit like that. Some people feel like it's fake, it's false. Some people want to try to come in my energy to see if they can like throw me off course. And I can just feel it. I could just feel it. Some people want to come in my energy to see if they can like throw me off course, or see if they can, see if I'm really as tough as I come off, or see if I'm really who I say I am. And it's like I've been through certain things behind the scenes in life, and those battles, those battles I faced head on. And I know a lot of people probably wonder, how did he make it through that? Or, some people didn't think I was going to make it. Some people thought I was going to give up a long time ago. Some people thought I was going to succumb to whatever they had made up in their mind about who I was or how I gave it up. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have sat back, and said and done certain things. But people will sit back and make up a lot of scenarios about what they think you're going through in life. And when you're a type of person where you have purpose, you got this something different about you, it's a light about you, but you're still walking in an everyday life, you're gonna deal with a lot of that. People will sit up and when you're being successful, they feel like, why are you getting that? And the question I ask people is like, why wouldn't it be me? The mere fact alone that you ask yourself, why is he getting it and I'm not, shows you that I should have got it from the jump. It shows you that I should have got it from the jump. So why wouldn't it be me? Because some people, they sit back, and I told y'all this before, some people sit back and they write off how your life is going to go based off your current circumstances. Some people, they don't understand evolving. Some people don't understand that you can grow. Some people think they know you off of when they met you. And like when you're dealing with a person like me, and I'm just not, it's not just me, but when you're dealing with a person like me, I'm constantly evolving. People meet me and they're like, wow, you've changed like a lot. Like, and to some people that's very intimidating. But one of the biggest icks I have right now, just with certain things and certain people in general, is just that like people, when they meet me, they want to like try to, like, it's like people who are, because I'm very loving, very sweet, very kind, very, but the opposite of that is like, don't play with me. Do not play with me, because of the simple fact that I am so real and I am so kind. If I'm being like that with you, do not play with me at all. So that's that. But certain people, when they meet me, they feel like a person like me is not real. I'm a facade. So when you're used to dealing with shady people, people who aren't like genuine, like I'm gonna get on you, but I'm still real. I'm somebody that you want to have in your corner at the end of the day. Solid, solid. And that's from the moment I meet you to the moment I walk out of your life or you walk out of mine. I will remain solid. Point blank. Period. So certain people, when they meet me, they feel like is he really who he says am I really who I say I am, or is it a facade or how I come off? And this isn't something that was just given to me. I had to endure certain things in life that built me to be how I am. And that's the beauty of life, to grow, to be a better person, not for the people around you, but for you. And while you're becoming a better person, you got some people who feel like you're gonna dim your light, and you need to dim your light so they can feel comfortable around you. And one thing that I've learned is that all my life I've had to play it small. I had to play it small for my mama. I had to play it small for my daddy. I had to play it small for the people around me for the sake of their egos. And I'm not doing that anymore. So like as a growing, individual on this earth, I'm like, don't play with me like that, because I'm gonna shine naturally. I've been around certain people and they would tell me, like, people notice you. They're like, people notice you. And as time went on, they would be envious and jealous of that, because I'm not one of those people. I don't loathe in attention. Outside people don't feed. It doesn't feed my drive. I feed my drive. I'm the source of my own validation. Outside people don't feed my validation. So, it's just, when people try to put themselves in competition with me, it's weird to me, because it's like, I'm not competing with anybody but myself. And then on top of that, I'm such a team player. I'm somebody that you will want on your side, not somebody that you will want to try to go against, because at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that we get where we're going if you're on my side, though, because don't play with me like that. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't, you just might not. But it's still go through these experiences, because I'm still going through, like, I guess I can say I'm not just everywhere right now. You know what I mean? I'm not just everywhere right now. But how do I put this? I'm still like around, it's like I stick out like a sore thumb wherever I go, because I'm still living like, I'm still doing like regular things, every day and everything like that. I'm sticking like a sore thumb. So some people, it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's so much pressure when I go outside. It's like the more I grow, the more eyes are on me. And I feel like it's because I'm from a small town and people have not seen a person like me do it like that and just live how I live. And I know for a fact I inspire people to be a better version of themselves. I know for a fact I do. And people feel like it's something that I'm trying to like prove or like accomplish. And it's like, I'm just being myself. I want to be a better person for me. And everything I do in life is for me, because I was given this life. I was given this life. You know what I mean? Everything I do is not to compete with anybody else. I'm not doing it for attention. I'm doing it because this is what I want to do with my life. This is my life. Mine. And I got the right. It's my birthright to achieve and do what I want to do with my life. So when it comes down to like outside people and stuff like that, it really aggravates me. And I'm no longer gonna dim myself, especially when I'm so like pure at heart. I'm so pure at heart, for real. And that's really what gets me. That's why I stand up for myself. That's why I snap the way I snap, because I'm pure at heart. I'm pure at heart. So it's like times. And let me acknowledge the people in the comments. What's up? What's up, Melanie? Let me acknowledge y'all in the comments. Yeah, Melanie, thank you so much for spamming the chat. But yeah, so that's that. Like, that's that. And I sit up in times like at night, especially. I sit up at night and I think about the times where I should have ate people up, where I should have really just did them in, or, in the past. And it's like future me cannot allow certain things to slide anymore. And it's not because of the simple fact that like I just want to be a bad person, but it's like I'm gonna stick up for myself at the end of the day, because I'm somebody worth sticking up for. Because I'm not an everyday like a regular person. I have a big purpose to do in this life, a huge purpose to do in this life. So with that being said, I'm not dimming my light, you know. at all, at all. And this is something I want to, leave with the people, for real, for real. If you're in an environment, basically what I'm saying is this: you got to know who you are. Yeah. Pep. Think I don't even know what you're talking about, but yeah. So I'm gonna leave you out with this. So ultimately, you just got to know what you will and will not tolerate for yourself, and it's only because of the simple fact of the matter that I'm not rushing anything. All my like this is the thing about it. This is the thing about it. I'm gonna pop regardless. It doesn't matter, and it's gonna be within the next 1 to 5 years. So I'm gonna pop regardless. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily have to stress it or have to worry about it. I just have to go through the fundamental things I need to build myself so that when I get where I'm going, it stays. That's the main thing. So that's not a problem or anything like that. But you know um so many things are just happening, in my life, like transition. And it's like I'm really locking down on my boundaries. One of my friends told me, she was like, you have to really lock down on your boundaries. And like I thought I was locked down on them, but now I'm even more locked down, and it's getting very, 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 very serious. But I'm just letting the people know wherever room I step in moving forward, I'm not bowing down. I'm not humbling myself. I'm not doing any of that. Not out of cockiness, not out of arrogance, but out of this is what I'm meant to do. And this is what I'm going to do. And you will respect me. I don't care who you are and why, because I respect people, most importantly, but secondly, because you will respect me. So that's just the main point. That's just the main matter. I don't want to have to lay in bed and consciously think about certain things people have said to me and I didn't, elaborate, or I didn't really, let them know what I needed to say. Honestly, it's never going to be a time in my life, maybe in my, I won't say that, but where I don't relay my emotions honestly, because it's like things when I don't get them out, especially when I feel like I've been done wrong. When I don't get them out, they replay in my head over and over and over and over and over and over. They replay in my head over and over and over and over. So it's like, yeah. And being the fact that I know I'm not the one in the wrong, it's like people want to try to humble me. And it's not people on the internet, it's people from my hometown, if I'm being real honest with you. They want to try to humble me, y'all. One of the main reasons why I come on here and I speak my narrative is because nobody's going to make the narrative for me. Nobody's going to sit back and say, this is what happened, or this is what, that's why I come on here and I do this. It's not everybody that I've met, while doing what I'm doing has been wonderful. It's been a wonderful time networking and meeting people and like engaging online. But the people from my hometown, they thought I was going to be a bum. They thought I was going to be a nobody. They had already written off what I was going to do and who I was going to become. And it's like, if you really just look at the people, I don't know whoever's listening to this, because people join the live at all times, and then if y'all listen throughout it, is the days to come. If you just look at the people, if you're in a small town, look at them, and you'll see how they all. And this is something I really, okay. You'll see how they all act the same, and then you'll begin to notice that these people are weird, and you have to go because it's like some weird stuff going on here. If you're from a small town and you're trying to be big and you're doing whatever, you're gonna notice these people are not right. They're not. They're not. They're not right. So that's all I'm gonna say as far as that. Don't need to say too much. So yeah, you just gotta really look at people and look at people. That's all I can say. Look at them. Look at them, and you gotta know where you're going. It doesn't matter if your environment doesn't support you. It doesn't matter if nobody doesn't believe in you. Got to keep going when nobody else is looking. And these are things that I fundamentally tell myself. It's like I haven't had a cheerleader because I'm my own cheerleader. I feel like I'm my own cheerleader. I'm like that to cheer other people on, honestly, eventually. Once I'm like content and whole within myself to be that person or that force that I needed for myself, for people like my future kids or whatever I need to be, so that is that. So I'm always gonna let the people know exactly what's going on as far as what is over here with me. But that is that, I'm kicking doors, I'm shutting certain doors, I'm kicking certain people out of my life because it's certain things that I just don't want to deal with anymore. And yes, bluntly, it is because my visibility is increasing. It's not because I'm acting funny, but it's because when I was doing what I was doing in the past, them people weren't checking for me. When I was not as I guess quote unquote attractive as I am now, whatever they say, They wasn't checking for me. They didn't care. When I was bigger, when I had a gap, when I was undesirable, then people didn't care for me. And those same people who tried to push me to the side and ostracize me, now that I've changed, now that I've transformed, they want me to acknowledge them, and I don't. I don't acknowledge them because they already wrote off who I was going to become. And what I was saying about the certain people, if you notice the people in your small town, even people who move to your towns, they kind of start to like act like the people who were there. And that lets you know they were meant to come here at this certain time for a certain reason. They were meant to come here for a certain time and a certain reason, and they are just like these people around you. You just got to watch the people, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Look at them. Look at them. I might have to delete this. I don't know. You just got to look at them, you know. So that's just what it is. Like I'm doing my You're right. You can't win them all. You can't win them all, and sometimes losing is winning. You know, I'm definitely much so am, and I always am. I would call it like a spiritual psychosis, but that's another thing people don't understand. They be like, "How is he so successful, y'all?" I've been giving something to do with this with my life. Like I've been given purpose to do. I sometimes I don't even know why I do what I do. I don't even know why I move the way I move, but it's meant to happen. And because of the simple fact that some people thought it wasn't supposed to be me, that alone it's supposed to be me. It's supposed to be me. You know, I feel like because of the simple fact I played dumb, I played stupid, I played all these type of different roles for certain people, you know, in hopes of like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking or in hopes of, but at the end of the day, um, things are just different now. Things are just different now, and I'm just growing. I'm growing, I'm growing, I'm growing. It's like, to some people, I'm growing too rapidly. They can't keep up. They can't keep up, so they either project onto me, they either switch sides, or it's just weird type of behavior, but I can pick up on it all. But see, my job now is to pick and choose what I address, because see, one time somebody told me about having reach, and now I have the reach. The ball is in my court. I have the leverage. So now I pick and choose what I'm going to engage with and what I'm going to deal with. It's that simple. So yeah, when I say 2026, when I say 2026, a lot of things are changing for the betterment of myself. They are. And for my career and for my life, they are. And I deserve it. I deserve it. You know, nobody has given me any handouts. I've worked hard. And that's very important to me. And I think that should be very important to the people who are rocking with me. I've worked hard. And if nobody's proud of myself, literally today, I just bust out crying just thinking about how grateful I am. Like, wow, I've really kept going. Like, I've kept my vision going, and it's like it's been becoming fruitful. And it's like if I would have gave up a year ago or gave up, period, I didn't give up. I did not give up, and that's just what sets my soul on fire. I didn't give up. Nobody could never tell me to stop, ever, ever, ever. So it's like if I gotta walk it alone, I walk it alone to get to my dreams. I walk it alone to get to my success, because this is what my soul is desiring. It's like a fire in me. Literally, it's like a fire that I have to get out. I have to create. I don't necessarily just get too angry. I go to the booth. I write a book. I do whatever, and it comes out and it's fire, and it's cultural, and it changes. It's and it. Listen, like I said on my shorts, I'm not false. I'm just early. I'm not false. I'm just early. Okay. Give me some time. Give me some time. People don't move as with so much sincerity as I do, or so serious. Some people are not as serious about their purpose as I am, so they get intimidated by me. You know, they get intimidated. They don't know how to handle that. But you know, the beauty of of me is that the opposite side of me, you know, being purposeful and being driven, is that I also offer compassion to other people around me, and push them to be driven as well. Because you see, you have a lot of people who don't have balance in their life. That's another thing I feel like that I've had to work on and that I'm proud of. Balancing fun with I've just balanced certain things in my life, you know, and honestly, like I said a few moments ago, I get on here to tell my narrative because nobody's going to tell my story for me. When the time comes, nobody's going to sit on that couch and say they knew me back when they didn't know me. Nobody's gonna sit up here and do anything. It was meant. Everything in my life was meant to happen the way it's happening. You know, I remember I think about when I was a kid and I just felt so unseen and underappreciated. It was because it was a time in my life where I'm gonna be seen massively. It didn't matter if the people around me as a child didn't see me. It didn't matter if they didn't understand me. It didn't matter if they didn't feel me. The world will feel me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the world will hear me. And to the person that dropped off, you're gonna see it too. You're gonna see it too. You ain't the first, you won't be the last to drop off, but they'll eventually come back because they'll see that he was right. He was on point. Nothing about what I do is false. Like I'm real. You got to balance real with your, with your dreams. I'm real, and nothing's gonna change that. I just want to, continue to become more wise, but continue to become more elevated. If I'm being honest with you, continue to become more poised and regal in nature. Still having my fire, but just containing it a little more. You know what I mean? So, and you're definitely right. So yeah, so that's definitely that. And honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm not worried about any negative, spiritual, anything like that because I'm very much so protected. I'm very much so protected. And that's another one of the most beautiful things I could have asked for my life, the protection that I have been granted. So, anything that I say, it can't be used against me. And it never will be able to be used against me, if you get my drift. Because I'm peeping you down here. I'm peeping you. But just know, it's all divine dialect. And, that is definitely a gift and a curse. It's definitely going to be, and this is definitely getting deleted if I'm being honest with y'all, but it's definitely going to be we won't always be talking like this. We won't always be having these deep conversations about this type of stuff. So I'm grateful for these moments, and I'm grateful for, being able to just connect, if I'm being honest. I'm going to detest the time where I have to do certain things certain ways, but, it's life. It's life, and that's that. Still remaining true to myself, but I'm very much so protected. And, that's another thing. I wonder why my life was so boring growing up, because I was protected. It wasn't meant for me to be doing certain things in certain places. It wasn't meant for me to having, like a overseer or a person who manages my success to take from me and not add to me. It was meant for me to build it on my own, and that alone I'm grateful for. And not because people said I couldn't do it, but because I did do it and I believed in myself. It's like the little boy in me is happy. He is very happy. And I know for a fact I've reached a certain level of gratitude because of the simple fact, thank you so much, because of the simple fact that if like, which I know my music and everything is going to reach a certain level of visibility, but if it did not, what I've done and what I've put out thus far makes me so grateful. It literally makes me want to cry because I'm proud of myself. Like, I'm literally proud of myself. So like that alone, that gratitude alone is going to send back everything that I want and more for me. So that is that, Lions. I'm about to get up off of here. You definitely got to check out some other lives because this one is about to go deleted. So that is that. I will see y'all very, very soon. Abonne-toi. And I love those who love me. Shout out to you, Daisy.